Okay, so extended patch notes are out. They're doing maintenance currently. I just haven't logged out of the game, so I'm still got it out for some reason. Oh, it's so good, but it's so bad. I did not want to spend any gems on this. I really wanted to save my gems on this because I'm assuming at some point Festival King's gonna come out. And I'm sure there's going to be other banners that are going to be worth summoning on, like the Archangels, etc. But unfortunately for me, I don't have 3 of the seasonal units. And they're all Halloween units, which is kind of funny. But they gave us Gila for free. I'm not honestly worried about getting this Meliodas and this Elaine. They're not really good. But they had to rate up Gother, and I don't have Gother. And I mean, from a paper sort of standpoint, like for me, like playing against Green Gother in PvP, I don't really think he's like an insane unit. Like, I mean, I think he's just as good as Red Gother, but I obviously haven't played with him. And I haven't used his passive, which is what makes him so good. So I don't know, my thoughts could change maybe. But honestly, I've always kind of looked at it as like, oh, like I didn't get Green Gother, whatever. Like I've already got Red Gother, not a huge deal, whatever. But yeah, he's the rate up unit. I'd kind of like to get these 2 units. But I still may end up skipping on this, honestly. So I guess the question is, should you summon on this banner? Honestly, it's going to be completely dependent on whether or not you want some of these seasonal characters if you don't already have them. The big thing here is that if we open up another tab, we can swap between these 2. Nope, not that one. My bad. It's this one. Seasonal Heroes return. So the Halloween units aren't good. Like they're just super mediocre. You don't really need them. They'll probably be the most, like obviously besides Green Gother, but the Halloween units are probably the worst out of all of them. And I guess luckily if you weren't around for the Halloween event, like if you're like a brand new player or anything like that, they are actually selling the cosmetics and stuff like that that you missed out on in the coin shop, which is kind of interesting. Whereas the other cosmetics for the other heroes you have to buy with diamonds, which is a little unfortunate, but honestly, like it's kind of a big commitment to get some of these units. Like these were New Year's units on JP, and these were the Valentine's Day units on JP. But they've been rebranded for us because they didn't come out on New Year's and they didn't come out on Valentine's Day for us. So these are the ones that you're going to want to go for. If you didn't know, these characters help you choose which deathmatch boss you get. So if you use, I'm pretty sure, well, it actually says it right here. So if you use Green Demon Melee, you actually get Hallex guaranteed as long as he's on the team whenever you beat the boss battle, and your percentage ticks over to actually get a deathmatch encounter. So these are really good. Obviously, it goes the same for these 2. This one's Red Demon, this one's Gray Demon. So if you're looking to farm specific mats, like if you really need, Hallex ears, you really need Red Demon horns, you really need, Gray Demon wings, you can pick and choose which one you get, which is really nice. I actually ended up, they put these units and these units all on one banner, which was insane that they released 6 new characters at the same time. But yeah, these were the units that I was more worried about. These units are also very good because you can use them to get extra cosmetic upgrades. So you can get costume and enhanced materials, and they're actually halfway decent units for their respective sort of demon. So if you use Guardian Elaine in Hallex, for example, she actually, her passive makes it to where you get like I think it like doubles their stat gain or something like that for units who like I can't remember exactly how they word it. Let me check. So it is increases allies stat related buffs by half of their values in deathmatch. So obviously this is a deathmatch only thing, but she buffs Derriere's buffs so much that it actually makes a huge difference on whether or not you have her on the team. You can throw her in the back slot. You don't actually have to like power her up or anything like that, as long as you know, are playing with a good teammate and you're playing with a decent team that can go through it without, you know, dying in a lane coming out and having to worry about that. But yeah, so these units are actually useful. These units are actually useful. The Halloween units aren't really that good. But I mean, if you don't have them and you want them, like I don't have Elaine and I don't have Meliodas, and I would kind of like to have them for the whole like collector's sort of mentality, I guess. But honestly, like I'm not playing this game as a collectathon. I like certain units. I've been skipping certain banners. I would have loved to have drew on, you know, Gloxinia's banner, because Gloxinia is a cool character. I would have loved to have pulled on Droll's banner because he's a cool character. But honestly, like you have to look at what's good for your own account and whether or not you're going to use these units, and you know, if they're actually useful to you. I guess another big thing here is that they obviously released all 6 of these characters at one time. So if you did pull on that banner back then and you already have some of these units, or you have all of them, you know, per se, but you didn't have enough diamonds at the time to get their cosmetics, now would be a good time for you to get their cosmetics. I think that might be I think I might end up just doing that instead, because honestly, going for Green Gother isn't really going to be all that beneficial for me. Like, Green Gother is good, but me going to the 600 mark just to get a guaranteed Gother does not sound like a fun time. Whether or not I get him, like if I were to summon, if I got him, you know, before this, that would be fantastic. But looking at it from a pure guarantee standpoint, I wouldn't pick either of these units, obviously, because they're not really that good. But Green Gother is very good, and you would want to try to get him out of any of them, because even if you already have Green Gother, having extra copies of him to have his like ultimate hit, because he's become kind of like a staple unit in the meta lately, you would want to try to get copies of his ult so that way he can do more damage with it, etc. But yeah, for me personally, I just going to the 600 mark does not sound like a good time. It's gonna waste way too many of my diamonds. I know a lot of people are still, you know, recovering from the festival banner that was just released. Maybe you summoned on the Ozzo and Hawk banner. There's been a pretty decent amount of stuff that's, you know, kind of gone on lately. Obviously, Gloxinia and Droll were, I mean, depending on how you looked at it, for me, those were both skip banners, so I have a decent amount of diamonds. You can see I have like 500, which, I mean, is a decent amount. Like, I could end up getting the guarantee on this before the banner goes away, but it's not worth it to me, like, personally, because if I go all the way to the 600 mark just to get one copy of Green Gother, then I'm not going to be able to buy cosmetics for the other characters. I'm literally going to be broke. So if anything, like, interesting comes out, like if another good banner comes out, I'm gonna have to either spend money on the game, which I do not want to do, or I'm just gonna have to miss out on whatever it is and try to hope that it comes back. It is nice that they're bringing Green Gother back so soon. I kind of expected them to wait longer before they brought him back, but I mean, this is a pretty decent chance for them to. Originally, when they brought the seasonal units back on JP, it was with the Droll and the Wedding DN banner that's actually leaving tonight. So I mean, I guess it's sort of kind of in the same sort of timeline as far as like character releases and stuff like that goes. But yeah, for me personally, I think I'm just gonna end up skipping. I don't think that the Gother is enough like of a, you know, a big selling point for me to really go for the banner. I think I'm just going to try to get these cosmetics that I missed out on, so that way these characters can, you know, benefit more and I can get more cosmetics and stuff like that. This just seems like a better deal to me because I already have all of these seasonal units and I'm not worried about these seasonal units. If I really wanted these 2 units as well, 3 units on the banner that I need, like if I really wanted to get Captain Meliodas, Guardian Elaine, and the Halloween Gother, I would maybe summon on the banner, because, you know, getting 3 units that I don't have would be nice, but it just doesn't seem worth it to me. I'm gonna go for the cosmetics over the green Gother, but that's just personal opinion. Obviously, you guys can do what you want. You have to determine for yourself whether or not it's right for your diamonds and everything like that. Obviously, I think the big one that I'm kind of saving for at the moment is going to be the Sariel and Tarmiel banner. I'm assuming they're just going to release them both together, just like they did on JP. I don't know why they wouldn't, but that's going to be the next big one that I try to go for. I think if they release Festival King before that, I do really actually want Festival King. A lot of people have come to the conclusion that they're going to end up skipping Festival King and just, you know, save for the one. And I can understand that. I get it. Like, the one is overpowered, and you know, he's just that next big unit. He is the Lost Vein Meliodas of festival units now. Like, he is the one that everybody wants to go for. So I completely understand. I get it, but I actually am interested in Festival King. I think he's a cool unit. I like the way that he uses sort of like the like effects or whatever. Like, he puts like poison and like he puts status effects on people and uses that to his advantage. And I think that is a super cool like play style for a character. Like, I'm into interesting characters. Like, with Oslo and Hawk has become one of my favorite units in the game just because of the way that they play, and he just, I don't know, he's just a fun unit to me. So I think King personally is going to be a really fun unit for me to play, so I'm interested in getting him. But obviously, you know, a lot of people are planning on skipping. I completely understand. It's a valid criticism. You know, if you want to save up for the Archangels, or if you want to save up for the one, feel free. There's not a whole lot of like super crazy stuff that's going to be coming in the future. The Archangels, maybe Awakened Lilia with the, you know, the white-haired Lilia with the snake. She should be coming out at some point. We're getting to the point where there's not a whole lot of banners that we're missing on global at this point. So you got to pick and choose your banners here, because there's going to be some good stuff and there's going to be some stuff that you probably don't want to spend your diamonds on. So for me personally, it's a skip. If you don't have any of these units and you really want them, obviously go for it. I mean, these units are seasonal. They don't come around all that often. So I completely understand if you want to summon, but you know, look at your wallet and make sure you're not breaking the bank, because obviously these are 7 Deadly Sins units. These aren't collab units. They'll come back eventually. I wasn't super worried about missing out on Wedding Deanne. If I really was, I would have continued to summon on her, but she'll come back around at some point. I'm not too worried about it. Even these Halloween units, they'll be back. They ended up returning for the Halloween event on JP for year 2, because they've had 2 Halloween events at this point. They were on theirs. I'm sure Halloween Gother will end up being on another banner before Halloween, I'm sure. Like, it would be weird if they waited an entire year. So I don't know. That's it. See you guys later.